was in the robbery.
In fact, your father was with Winnie that night, wasn't he?
Yes, they were partners investigating a robbery that night that he passed.
And Winnie took a bullet too, didn't he?
Objection relevance.
Well, I think it goes to the potential bias the witness may have in this situation because of her close relationship with the victim, Mr. Thomas. As I understand from the defense opening, the defense is contending that because Mr. Poole is not been located, that the state is going after Mr. Bowman instead, and the relationship between this witness and the victim, Mr. Thomas, may be an issue that the jury can consider on this particular defense issue. Yes.
Well, that may be true. The question that she was asking was if Winnie got shot on that night of robbery. That has no relevance to what is going on in this case and what the bias that she would feel.
Well, she may feel very close to Mr. Thomas because the evening that her father was shot, Mr. Thomas was right there. And it demonstrates the closeness of the relationship. I'm convinced the evidence will rule the objection. You may continue.
Let me repeat the question. Isn't it true that Winnie took a bullet that day too?
He also did, yes.
And isn't it true that he later gave a speech at your father's funeral?
In front of people, yeah, it's very touching.
Let me redirect your attention to the text message you testified to on cross, or on direct, I'm sorry. You said that the contact was S. Cam, correct?
That's what it says, yep.
So is it possible that the Cam could stand for Camille?
There was only one contact in the phone, and it was S. Cam. Given the acquaintance between Mr. Bowman and Cameron Poole, I just put two and two together to come up with Cam for Cameron.
But I believe you don't know all of Mr. Bowman's acquaintances. Could it possibly stand for Camille?
It could have been given that he initiated the black
Can I take that as
note.
a yes? It's possible that it could stand for Camille?
I suppose.
Or
If you do
Camden?
Camille,
Or Camden?
I suppose so. But
Or
it seems-
S. Cam for Susan Cam?
It seems awfully coincidental, doesn't it?
I'm going to strike that answer and leave it at this. The witness acknowledges that it is possible that the initial CAM could stand for someone other than Cameron Poole. You made the point, you can move on to your next area of cross-examination.
Detective Kimball, you want to see someone paid for what they did to Winnie, didn't you?
I would like to see someone held accountable. Absolutely.
Isn't it true that upon seeing Winnie's condition, you immediately made up your mind that, in your own words, quote, you knew you had to hold someone accountable for this?
No matter what instance I come upon, if there's an injured victim, I want someone to be held accountable, and that's just an initial reaction of the detective in me. So yes, absolutely. My first response is let's find out who did this.
Detective, isn't it true that in your own words, quote, Winnie was the best guy you have ever known? After your father, Winnie was the best guy you ever knew?
My grandpa's number one, my father's number two, and Winston Thomas is number 3 in my book.
You signed up an affidavit on November 15, 2012, didn't you?
Yes, I guess I did.
You signed it under oath, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You had the chance to review it and make any changes before coming to trial,
Yes.
but you chose not to.
I didn't see the need.
Let the record reflect that I'm showing opposing counsel Detective Kimball's affidavit, line 23. May I approach the witness?
You may.
Line 23. Read silently while I read out loud. Other than my dad, Winnie is the best guy I've ever known.
Objection, Your Honor.
Basis of the objection.
Well, she did state another person that was one of the best people she did know. She did not deny the fact that Winnie Thomas was, in fact, one of the best people that she knows.
Hasn't the witness already admitted this?
Well, she said, other than my grandfather and my dad, Winnie was the best guy I've ever known.
And how do you contend the affidavit was contradictory to that testimony?
Here it says, other than my dad, Winnie was the best guy I've ever known.
Meaning that it was number 2 instead of number 3.
Yes.
I think that is a potential contradiction of her testimony. It's an issue for the jury, so I will permit the evidence to be admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Or grandpa, yeah.
Detective, is it fair to say that you wouldn't have made it to where you are today if it hadn't been for Winnie and Miss Longstreet?
They had set things in motion, helped me out that summer. So yeah, I guess you could say that.
And isn't it true that you owe them both so much?
Objection, ask and answers. She already
Yes,
asked
I think the
questions.
witness has acknowledged already through a series of questions her feelings for Ms. Longstreet. You may ask another question.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
And is there any redirect examination?
Yes, Your Honor. I
You
just
may,
had one
you may
question.
proceed.
You took an oath before you became the detective, correct?
Because I took an oath to uphold justice, protect and serve all citizens, and this comes above and beyond family and friends. The oath is what I stand by, and it's one of the highest oaths I have to provide justice.
Thank you. That's all. Permission for the witness to step down?
Yes, please, step in. Now, at this point, I understand we're going to take a 45-minute break, is that correct? Let's take a brief 5